Well, welcome to our film celebrating 70 years of the National Health Service. It's become Britain's most venerated institution, and rightly so. And I can certainly remember my parents and grandparents telling me about life before the NHS and all the worries and concerns they had about illness or injury. And the NHS has made such a huge difference to people's lives since those days. But I think the most important component part of our NHS and of Oxleas is our people. People with the right values, people who care, people who are highly professional, and those little acts of kindness that every day make a difference to our patients. And that's one of the things I'd like to celebrate and think about how we can continue as we look forward to underpin those great values of the National Health Service and our trust, and make sure that we're going to celebrate a continuing outstanding organisation in 70 years' time.
This leaflet is coming through your letterbox one day soon. Or maybe you've already had your copy. Read it carefully. It tells you what the new National Health Service is and how you can use what it offers.
I came into nursing because I really wanted to care about people. Started off as a cleaner, went into nursing homes and finally came into nursing.
I started as a healthcare assistant when I was 17, when I got refused entry to medical school because I didn't have the right exams.
I was taken on as a care assistant, and then I became an occupational therapy assistant.
I started in support work, having met the learning disability service. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a rock star. That didn't pan out very well.
I have been with Oxleas for about 22 years now, and I started as a newly qualified staff in Bexley Hospital.
I started to work at Goldie Lee Hospital, so part of Oxleas NHS Trust. As a nursing assistant, that was a hospital for mentally subnormal children. So just in terms of the language you used, it's changed a lot.
I came at the age of 16. I had to get permission to leave school early to start.
My interview to become a nurse, I came up to Greenwich District Hospital, what it was at that time, and I was 17, and my mum came with me.
Most of them had great difficulty in communicating their needs, feelings, what they were thinking, and I was just told to get on with it. Do stuff with them.
After a week of going out for days and driving a minibus and doing all those sorts of things, I thought this was great fun, and I fell in love with the work.
The sister on the ward, my first ward, I said was like a Dalek because she moved silently in her cape and pointed a lot at things.
I was always getting in trouble on the wards with my ward sister. I didn't have a lot of common sense or initiative. I was always doing things like leaving the milk to boil for 24 hours and coming into a kitchen on fire.
When we first came into nursing, you'd never seen a part of a body, you know, so it was a little daunting to see parts of bodies that you'd never seen before.
10 o'clock was tea and 3 o'clock was tea, I think. And you go round and then you get to the end, and then this lovely lady in the bed would say, "Could I have mine weak?" And you'd take the lid off and you'd look in and you think, oh, there's an inch of water which is brown, brackish brown, with 25 tea bags floating in it. So you'd pour her half a cup of tea and half a cup of hot water, and she'd say, "Oh, it's a lovely nurse."
I made my first ever cup of tea as an HCA, and I made it and everyone took a swig and went, "Oh, Nats, we."
Earlier this year I was diagnosed with lung cancer, something that came as quite a shock to me as a non-smoker, not realising just how many people who don't smoke get lung cancer. And I think seeing our NHS at its very best, of the kindness, the care, the compassion and the absolute professionalism that I saw and experienced. You know, I had NHS support from start to finish, from diagnosis to getting me back to where I am now, being positive and looking forward to the future, looking beyond cancer, but equally being very humbled by the amazing people that looked after me all the way through that process, and will continue to look after me for my regular checkups that I'll now have in the months ahead.
It's all about inclusion now instead of exclusion, which I think is great, and that's some of the growth the NHS has done over the last 70 years and beyond, I think.
With the NHS, you have the opportunity to advance in your career, to be able to work independently as well as working as a team as well.
I believe in the NHS, and I love the fact that it's free at the point of delivery. It's free for anybody. Doesn't matter who you are, what culture you come from, what level of society you come from, so it's free. That's really, really important.
My motivation being a nurse is purely making people who are vulnerable, who are not well, and you see a smile on their face.
Joined nursing to be nurses, to care for people and give them the best care. And although things have changed and procedures have changed, policies have changed, at the end of the day, if you're a nurse, that's what you're there for.
It's such a good service, and you don't realise it when you're younger, what it actually means to people, how, you know, from doctors, from nurses, from people cleaning the ward to make it safe for you.
So I think we're on a journey, and it's been a really great journey, and I can't say how grateful I am for the opportunity to be part of this.
You know, I think it's probably one of the best jobs of my life, actually. I couldn't have been happier. I've got the most wonderful team around me and most wonderful colleagues.
So I've completely retained my belief in the NHS and in public service. In the job that I do at the moment, I try and hold on to that. I try and remember that at the end of it, all that we do, there is a patient, a service user.
So 70 years on, when I think about have we achieved that vision that was in that recruitment film, and I think the answer is absolutely a resounding yes, I think we have.
It's been a fantastic career, and I'm really pleased that I wanted to do it, and it's been everything I wanted it to be.
The one thing that hasn't changed is the drive and the passion and commitment of nurses who give their all in sometimes very challenging situations.
So I remember really happy times, lovely happy times.
Every day I still learn something new, and I still love coming to work, and I still love what we do. Very proud to be a nurse, very proud to work for the NHS.
It's more of a general warm fuzzy glow when I think about the last sort of 15, 16 years that I've been a doctor in the NHS. It's great.
And I'll be really sad to go. I'll miss colleagues. I know lots of people across the organisation, and there probably isn't a building that I'll go to or I won't know somebody there. So I shall miss that over the coming years.
I'm incredibly proud of working in the NHS, and I feel I'm playing my small part, along with many millions of others, about making sure it goes from strength to strength for the next 70 years.
Like your kids can drive you up the wall, sometimes the NHS can drive you up the wall, but you still love them and you're still very proud of them. And I suppose, I feel a bit like that with the NHS.
It is that compassion, that kindness, the utter professionalism that I have very firmly felt and seen and experienced close at hand over recent months that is just so striking, and I think is absolutely the hallmark of our NHS and is very much at the heart of the values of our NHS. Something that we should really cherish, something at this time that we're marking the 70th anniversary, something that we should celebrate. Celebrating the people, celebrating those who work within our NHS, who do so much good and make it the special organisation that it is.
Really love my job, love my team. Got a very good team, haven't we?
We have.
Yeah, I'm very proud to be a nurse. It's a bit like that, but I am.